Hi everyone, and welcome to Virtual Junior Church for this Sunday, the 6th of December, the second Sunday in Advent. As you can see, I've come into church again to record the video, and this week we've lit 2 candles on our Advent wreath. If you remember last week, we thought about the first candle representing hope and the hope we have in God. This week we've got 2 candles lit and we're thinking about peace, and we're going to think about God bringing peace to us. So let's read our Bible passages for today. The first one is the one we read last week from Isaiah chapter 9, and then we're going to read just one verse from words that Jesus said to his disciples. So let me read Isaiah chapter 9. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there will be no end. He will reign on David's throne and over his kingdom, establishing and upholding it with justice and righteousness from that time on and forever. And then we're going to read just one verse that are words that Jesus said to his disciples. He was promising them, he was talking to them for quite a long time, we'll just read one verse, about how he would send the Holy Spirit when he went back up to heaven. And he described it like this: Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. Jesus promised us that his peace would come, and we can always know his peace, even when we're really cross or we've fallen out with our best friend and the world feels terrible. We can still know that peace from God. Think for a minute about your feelings and your emotions. Sometimes we feel happy. Other times we feel sad, sometimes angry, frustrated, worried, tired, silly, whatever. We've got loads of different emotions and feelings that go on inside us all the time. Have you ever been told to take a deep breath and count to 10 when you're angry? It's a good idea, as it gives us a moment to calm down and to focus on our breathing and our counting rather than on our anger. And it stops us saying something hurtful that we might regret later. But how about this? When you're cross, instead of counting to 10, take a deep breath and ask God to come inside us and fill us with his peace. It's even better than counting to 10. For our craft activity this week, we're going to make a mess. Now, to do this, you need to promise that you will tidy up afterwards and don't just leave it for somebody else. I'd like you to get a magazine or a newspaper that has been finished with, please ask first, and rip one of the pages or maybe 2 of the pages into small pieces. These bits of paper remind us that the world is a mess and people do get very cross and they need to know God's peace. Then on another piece of paper, draw a cross shape like the one we had last week when we made our hope crosses. We know from our Bible verse in Isaiah that God sent Jesus to be the Prince of Peace. So we're going to stick all those little bits of paper onto the cross shape to remind us that yes, the world is a mess, but God sent Jesus to be the Prince of Peace. And at the top of that piece of paper, write the word peace, or stick it if you can find the letters from your magazine or newspaper. And then at the bottom of the piece of paper, write the verse from John's Gospel. The details are all on the email and they show you which words to write and stuff. Our prayer activity also may not be massively popular with your parents, but you're going to need a drum or something else to make a big noise. I'd like you to play some quiet music and then bang on your drum for a bit, then stop and listen to the peaceful music. Which is the most peaceful? Thank God, say a prayer thanking God for his peace that is always there for you whenever you want it. It's great now that church can reopen for public worship, so junior church is also happening today in real life. And next week, don't forget, we've got junior church in the morning and virtual junior church in the morning and messy church in the afternoon. Messy church is at 3:30 on Zoom, and don't forget to email Chris to book your place. Have a great week. Bye. Now for our craft activity this week, we're going to make a mess. Now to do this, you need to promise that you will tidy up afterwards and you won't leave it for somebody else to do. I'd like you to get some magazines or a newspaper that's been read and finished with, make sure you ask first, and rip it up into small pieces. Not all of it, just one page of it will be fine. These bits of paper remind us that the world is a mess and people get cross and need God's peace. Now we know, because it's said in our verse from Isaiah, that God sent Jesus to be the Prince of Peace. So we're going to stick them onto a cross. And so you need another piece of paper where you've drawn a cross. You can use last week's outline if you want. And then write or stick the word peace at the top and write the verse from John's Gospel at the bottom. There's more details on the email that'll tell you exactly what to write and how to do it. The prayer activity may also not be popular with your parents, but you're going to need a drum or something else to make a big noise. I like to play some quiet music and then bang the drum for a bit and then stop and listen to the peaceful music. Which is the most peaceful? Thank God for his peace that is always there for you. Remember that church is open now from this weekend, and so junior church will happen in real life today at 10:30. And next week, next Sunday the 13th, is Messy Church at 3:30 on Zoom. Don't forget to email Chris to book your place. Have a great week. Bye.